now you've agreed to either sell your home, or maybe you're really just still seriously considering it, but you're just not sure what the next steps are and what it's going to look like. Well, this video is going to be a guide to help you through that process. And stay tuned till number 8, because it might surprise you, but it has a great return on investment. It might sound a little bit too early, doing it too early, but make sure you do number 8. That will have a big return on investment for you. We have buyers, we have sellers calling us every day here in the Okanagan, people looking to move here to the Okanagan. So reach out, give me a call, shoot me an email if you do have any questions on the real estate market in the Okanagan. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to help you. Or sign up below. I got a weekly email. You can sign up below. Make sure you get all the information right into your inbox. So I want you to just look down to the bottom left, and it's probably on the left hand side. Hit that like button and then head all the way over to the right side. And if you haven't done that already, subscribe to the channel of Living in Kelowna so you don't miss out on future videos of living in Kelowna and the real estate market here in the Okanagan. All right, so now you've agreed to sell your home. You're just not sure what those next steps are going to look like, or what is it going to be like. This video is here to help you through that whole process. And we're going to go through it, and we're going to take it from step by step. And please give us a call, shoot me an email, give me a call, whatever that works for you. I can discuss it with you. I can come view your house and just see you. Maybe there's other things you need to do. Maybe your house is looking spectacular already. Maybe you just naturally do all this stuff. So this is really going to be a case-by-case basis. It doesn't really have to factor on everybody, but this is just a guideline to really help you on it and just see if you're on the right track and go through it. All right, so just jumping right into it, decluttering is the first one that really comes up quite often, and it is probably the most one that really just comes out, and we're talking about it the most. So it's people need to declutter their house. So whether it's renting a storage unit or renting a big steel bin to clean out, you can leave most of your furniture and everything like that, but do you really need to remove a lot of your personal items? These are items like books, photos on the wall, CDs, DVDs. There's all these little things that are just taking up space. Think less is more in this case. So try and get out as much as possible. Obviously, you still need to live. Leave the sofa, leave the chairs, leave the TV, but just really clean things up a little bit and remove as much stuff. If you have the magazines from 1999, maybe get rid of those. And then also at this stage, really remove anything that you don't think that somebody will really appreciate. So maybe it's taking all your little china out and that. And also thinning out your closet. Taking in your coat closet, take out half your coats that you don't need anymore, that you're not using on a day-to-day basis. And less is more in this case. So the more cluttered the space, the smaller rooms look. So decluttering will increase the space, and it also gives the potential buyer the thought of putting their own stuff in there, because they want to envision their own furniture in there. Obviously, you're going to have a couch, you're going to have it designed in a way, but create enough flow in the room. Maybe you have a chair right in the middle of the room, and it's kind of blocking a walkway, but it's perfect viewing area on your TV. Well, maybe let's move it for the showings and for the photos. Let's move it to the other side just so it shows a little bit better, and the buyers can kind of work around it. So temporary pain, really for long-term gain in this case. Number 2 is remove any fixtures that you might want to keep that you don't want to give away with the sale. So any fixtures normally for a home offer will be included in the purchase price. So maybe it's that TV mounted bracket. Maybe you really want that bracket. Is it expensive, or do you want to, it's maybe expensive to buy a new one? Or is that projection TV hanging from the ceiling? Those are all likely going to be included in the sale. So if you don't want them included in the sale, we need to make sure we note that. But the easiest thing to do is really just to take it away, because if the buyer sees that one, he sees that projection TV, they're going to probably want to keep that and keep that included in the purchase. So if you take it down and repair all the work ahead of time, you don't have to worry about it down the road coming up. Especially this comes with any family heirlooms, maybe anything family wise. Maybe it's a chandelier from your grandmother. That's something, just make sure, let's take it down just so somebody doesn't fall in love with it and create another bargaining tool, and because then it might hurt you in the price point down the road. So number 3, this might have come with your decluttering, but it's really just make sure you take down any personal photos, and you want to repair all the holes in the drywall, all the paint, and you just want to add a fresh coat of paint at this time. So really keep the paint and everything natural tones and light, simple tones, because that'll make more of a positive impact of the potential buyer. So they can see past it. Maybe if they want to put their own colors in, that's great, but normally home buyers just want to increase the visibility of the house and the way it shows. Homes will sell faster if they have natural home colors, natural just soft tones, that sort of thing. So keep it to the earthy tones, and light is possible is oftentimes will make sure your home will be showing better. And the reason why we want to take down your personal photos is because people want to envision themselves in there. So maybe you have grandkids and you have all your 10 grandkids up on the wall. Well, maybe it's a young home buyer that is going to want to purchase it and they don't really envision themselves in that position. So they're not going to want to have the same photos up there. And then in their mind, they're also thinking, now I got to clean up all these holes. Just had to purchase with a home. And the buyer viewing the house, there's absurd amount of nail holes into the wall. They had taken down all the photos, but they didn't repair the wall. And that was really just like a really evident. So just make sure you're doing it. And a nice coat of paint will actually have the offer that you do receive to the potential buyer. They'll probably look better because they're not thinking about the extra $500 they have to spend to paint the house in that room. So spend that number ahead of time and it'll save you in the long run. So number 4 is maybe the most important one, because when do you want to move? If you've decided to sell your house, deciding on when you want to move. This isn't when you want to list your house. This is when you want to physically be in possession of your new home. Is it in 30 days? Is it in 90 days? Is it by next spring? Is that the situation? So because normal purchases, you have to take into account the days on market for the area and how aggressive you're going to be price wise. And then also you're going to have to take into account other factors like negotiation periods of how long is it going to take for them to do their due diligence on the house. So normally it's about a 2-week time period from a buyer, from an offer to the due diligence period. Anywhere from 0 to 10 days is normally what we see for offers. But we also want to keep in mind, normally there's also going to be a little lag in the possession date. So when you're getting an accepted offer, normally that possession period is going to be somewhere within the 45 to 90 day time period. So if you want to be moving tomorrow kind of situation, well, we're going to have to be a lot more aggressive on price point, and we'll heavily weight any offer that we get to more on the dates and not necessarily on the price point. So it really might affect you. So when you are looking to sell, think about timing, and price and timing is really the 2 factors that really come down to. So are you willing to negotiate on price and based on timing, or are you more set on the timing and willing to give on the price a little bit? So if you have longer to wait, the better you can probably do on price, depending on what the market's doing. So number 5, well, I'm in the business, so I have to throw it in here, but it's really just talk to a real estate professional. So it's probably a good time now. You've had some time to do your due diligence. You've had some time to make your house look a little bit better. Now it's probably time to at least talk to a professional here if you haven't done that already. You can do it at any stage you want. I put it at here is just because maybe you want to be talking to them. Markets will change. And so if you talk to them too soon, if you talk to them, say 6 months ago, well, the market's going to be a lot different then than it is now. So it's normally recommend talking to them around 30 to 60 day time period on when you plan to potentially get your home listed and sold. Schedule, because there's time, considering some time lags that we need to go ahead with. Like it's just a matter of maybe some final touches that you need to do to your house. Maybe it's also scheduling those photos. Normally we want to try and book those out about 7 to 10 days out from the photos, just to make sure we're getting on it. Then also have to have some time to put the marketing material all together and get your house marketed out to a lot of buyers. So kind of in that 30 to 60 day window of when you plan to have your home listed, that is a good time to get it. That way the market, if it does change, it's only going to be changing slightly, and you can just adjust accordingly. Number 6 is repair any dead spots in the grass, do any half done jobs. Finish this. This is the time where the items, the jobs, the stuff, I know I'm guilty of it sometimes too, is just putting off the last task. You get 98% of the way, you just have that 2% left and life gets busy. You need some relaxation. Now is the time to get that final stuff completed. So please just get that done. It'll help out in the long term. So is it painting that baseboard behind that wall? Is it, maybe you're going to move that couch, or maybe it's just time just to finish off some of those things. Maybe if you have a leaky faucet, it's a good time to get that addressed right now. Maybe get somebody through and just do all these final little tune-ups just so you get your house kind of dialed in. Prospective buyers are going to notice those little things. So, and just really just deal with it ahead of time. It'll help you out in the long run. And number 7 is really consider, where are you going next? So have you been looking at that market, and what does that market look like? Are homes selling fast, or are condos selling fast? Do you have a lot of options? Learning what the pace of the market will be for whatever you're looking to go to in your next step will also help you understand what you have to do for where you're looking to go. So if it is a fast-paced market, maybe you have to be a little bit more aggressive, get on things a little bit more so you can address it ahead of time and know that once we're going to market. So that's when you do reach out to the real estate agent. When you're talking to us, we're going to go over, what does your next stage look like? Are you moving to a different province? Are you moving to a different city? We're going to need to know that information so we can kind of base our strategy on you and tailor it just so you're taken care of. All right, and number 8, this is probably the most important one, is really just to give your house a good, thorough clean. It might sound a little preemptive to do this. You're gonna have to do it for your subject conditions. It's likely gonna be in the offer you get, so you may as well just ahead of time, but clean the cupboards, clean the top of the cupboards, way up there where all that dirt and gunk is up there that you haven't cleaned since you moved in. Just get up there and do it. Believe me, it's gonna go a long way to the buyers. If the buyers see a house that is spick and span, they're more likely to put an offer on your property, and they're also more likely to put an offer on it that is closer to what you're looking to get. And it'll just be a better overall offer, because their cleaning clause likely will be in the contract anyways. So you don't even have to worry about that really on possession period. When you're looking to move out all your stuff, there's going to be a lot less to clean. Clean out the cupboards, clean out your fridge, everything like that. It'll just make your life easier when you do, and when you are moving and you're busy, have everything packed, and you got a lot of other things going on. Now is probably where you have more time and you're less frantic. Now is a good time just to really to address it right now, and it'll show up in the showings that the buyers are scheduling. So recommend doing it. Number 9, this is what we're going to do next is schedule photos. So these are best to do in the spring and summer. So if you're planning to sell in the winter, it's normally best to get some pictures of your yard so it's showing, at its best. Maybe it's in the spring when all your plants are blooming. So if you're getting ahead of it and you have the ability, take some photos now if you're looking at a winter sale. But the best time is really when the sun is shining. We want to show your house in the best light, beautiful bloom. So if you do know you're selling and you're looking to sell, oftentimes what we've also done for our clients is done pictures ahead of time. And that way we have them on hold until you're finally ready, so that way you can control what your home looks like when it does hit the market. People are more likely to view a house if there's lots of color in it, if there's lots of brightness to it, versus having the front of your house all covered in snow and that sort of situation. It's going to look a lot better in the summer. So even if you're selling in the winter, it might look weird having a summer picture on it, but it will at least bring attention to your property and get more eyeballs looking at it, knowing that that's what they're looking for. So it's really just to get it up, and we're going to give you a list as well when you look to schedule your showing. Is really just to get and hide all of the kitchen gadgets. We want to get rid of all the cords. We want to really have everything as much as we can off of all the countertops, and we just want to have it clean looking. So get your toothbrushes, put it in a drawer, get a bucket, a little Tupperware container that you can put everything in if you do. So that's great. That comes in handy when you are scheduling showings, is putting everything into this Tupperware container, and you just pull it out when you need it, and then you can put it back, and then that way it's easy for showing. It is a hassle, but it is just a great opportunity to get everything off and just make sure your house is looking spick and span and looking, it's all dialed in. All right, so number 10, and this is the one we're leaving till the last one, because it is kind of one of the final stages when you're looking to sell your home, and it's really just confirming the price point. So this is when we're going to sign the listing agreement. You've made it through all these initial 9 steps. We're at the final stages here, and we're ready to list here. This is when we're going to want to confirm the price point. And so markets can change based from the first meeting, how long ago it is. It can be up and down, or whatever the situation is. So we want to revisit these numbers here and just really come down to a price point once you're finally ready to sell. And because the prep work's been done, and maybe you've done some improvements to it, so maybe the price has changed because you've addressed some of the improvements, some of the half finished work, that sort of situation. So we're going to take a final look through your house, and we're going to give you a final appreciation, final note of what the value should be around. And we're going to give you a range. And when it comes down to pricing, as how we work and me and my team is, we like to work with you on pricing. So it's not real estate agents. We don't dictate the market. The market will dictate itself. Oftentimes, you're the homeowner. You know the market. You've probably been following your market quite regularly. And really, if you have been thinking of selling, you've probably been following in the last couple of years, and you probably know all the ratios off by heart, you know, dollar per square foot, what everything's selling for in how many days, that sort of situation. Homeowners right now have access to a lot of information ahead of them. So let's come up with a number together and let's see what we can do, and we'll dial in your pricing. All right, so now that we've dialed in everything, we've gone through steps from 1 to 10, and that's all there is left. Once it's listed, you're ready for showings, everything like that. So showings happen next, and that'll be a different video that we'll go over what to do when we do get showings. But in this video, so I hope you got the information you're looking for, but if you did have any more questions, reach out and give me a call, shoot me an email, text, whatever you want. If you are looking for market information, what's happening in the Okanagan real estate market, sign up below. I do have a weekly email that I can send to you, or just reach out to me directly. I'd love to hear from you.